The war didn't spring on me all at once. Instead, like a cat, it stalked me quietly. There might have been a rustle of leaves, a glint of golden eye, but like a mouse, I didn't believe it was there until it pounced. Chapter 1, 1992. Math, puzzles, logic, ciphers. My brain is still whirling from the battery of tests as I ride the train from Belgrade, Serbia, back home to Bihać, Bosnia. The tracks push westward, the setting sun gilding the hillsides. Families, mothers, children patter and laugh, scold and squeal, in a comfortable cacophony that lets me almost doze off. I'm sleepy from a long day of tests, and I'll be lucky to get home by 1 a.m. A few stops later, the families get off, soldiers get on, and I realize with a sinking feeling that I'll be lucky to get home at all. I lower my eyes at once as men stomp down the aisles. I don't have to look to know they are Chetniks, the most vehement Serbian nationalists. They're dressed in black with weird tall hats. They all have beards, wild hair, and hate in their eyes for anyone that is not Serb. I saw them all over the streets of Belgrade, sneering and shouting at anyone they thought might be Muslim, quoting Slobodan Milosevic's hateful speeches. "Aren't you afraid?" I'd asked my cousin Jana. "It's not a big deal," she replied with an indifferent shrug. "People feel like they can just say anything these days." But when these soldiers invade my train, I fear that they'll have more than words for this lone teenage Muslim girl. Within seconds, the stench of them fills the train car. It is aggressively masculine and rank: sweat, liquor, grease, and gunpowder. They jangle like marchers in a macabre parade as their belts and bandoliers full of ammunition clang. "Did you hear the way he begged for his life?" one barks. "The Croatians, they're not real men," their commander says, "but they're women." The first one leers, "Black-eyed angels." "Nothing to compare with Balije women, though," a soldier says. Balije is an insulting word for Muslims. "I've heard they're like rabbits, eager and soft." The commander cuffs him on the head and he reels drunkenly. "You don't fall in love with them, you idiot. You put Serb seed in their bellies." He grabs the soldier by the collar. "You wipe them out generation by generation. You dilute their unclean blood. You honor them with half-Serb babies, and one day they will be gone from this earth and only Serbs will remain." Another Chetnik chuckles menacingly. "I don't think they realize they're being honored." One I had screamed so loud. Their conversation is lost as they head to the back of the train. I tuck up my knees, curling myself as small as possible. As I fix my eyes out the window, I want to run off this train. But would that be any better? I'm still in a Serb-controlled region. At least now I'm heading home. I can't decide, and then it's too late. The train is moving again. My parents are such fools, I rage inwardly. Anger feels better than the stark terror. That is my only alternative. But I can't keep it up. My parents are naive, good, hopeful, innocent. They fervently believe that humankind is fundamentally good. To them, wars are mistakes. Violence just a blip on the road to universal humanity. Sure, it has happened before, but they believe in their inmost hearts that any day now the world will come to its senses and be the peaceful, philosophical, intelligent place it was meant to be. They're sure the world can care for their children. They believe that education is the key to creating that utopia. To that end, I recently took a bunch of tests in my hometown. Math, logic, word puzzles, general knowledge. The results surprised even me. I have a friend whose mother works in the Bureau of Statistics. "Who's this Amra girl?" the mother asked her. "She got 100% on some of these tests. No one has done that in her generation." I was proud, but my parents were giddy. "You can do anything, Amra," they told me. "Just follow through." Never give up on your education, no matter what happens. It is the most important thing. That's why they put me on a train to Belgrade, in the heart of Serbia. It was the only place to take the next and highest level of tests. It was also a place where the majority of citizens would hate me if only they knew what I was. Already the Serbs are in an outright war with the Croatians. Croatians want independence. Serbs want land and control. I don't know if the Serbs actually hate the Croatians. Soon the Serbs will be coming for Bosnia. And there's no doubt at all how the Serbs feel about Bosnian Muslims, Bosniaks. They hate us. They think we're subhuman. Months ago, their leader, Radovan Karadzic, already threatened we would be eradicated. In a speech in parliament, he said we were going to hell if Bosnia leaves Serb-dominated Yugoslavia. If these soldiers have done such horrific things in Croatia, what will they do in Bosnia? Once a dictator kept the country together. Now, Yugoslavia is falling apart. My only protection today is that these Chetniks don't know I'm Muslim. These men on the train are part of our army, the official Yugoslav National Army that is supposed to protect all of our multi-ethnic nation, Muslims, Serbs, and Croats alike. But these men are all Serbs. Some still wear the official YNA uniform, though most of them have switched to Chetnik dress and insignia. They have officially declared that they are the army of the Serbs, not the army of Yugoslavia. Henceforth, Yugoslavia will only be for their kind. I stare too long, and one of them catches my eye. Instantly, I spin frontward, looking hard at the seat back, hoping against hope that the train official or ticket taker will come into our car now. But even they don't want to deal with drunken soldiers. I'm utterly alone as one of the men rises unsteadily to his feet, takes a swig from an amber bottle, and staggers my way. When he leans over my seat, I smell the alcoholic, unwashed stench of him. His long beard is matted and greasy. "Hello, young Srpkinjo," he says, young Serb woman. A tiny part of me relaxes. He uses a friendly, familiar greeting. He thinks I'm Serb, like him. And how could he tell? Muslim women here don't wear hijabs. We don't speak Arabic or recite Quran. We are Muslims at birth, of ethnicity, not religion really. I have brown hair, fair skin, brown eyes. I probably do look like this Chetnik's sister. But if I pointed that out to him, if I said, if you can't tell the difference, maybe there's no difference. Maybe we're all just people. Would he change? Would he go home and preach that change to his family? Of course I don't dare. Of course he would just say I'm a sneaky, lying Muslim out to trick him and steal his country. And once he knew I wasn't one of his own people, he would consider my body his to do with as he chose. I tried to look polite and shy instead of quaking and terrified. A well-brought-up Serb girl wouldn't speak to a soldier alone on a train. Want a drink, sweetheart? It's a chilly night. He thrusts the bottle at me. Some of it splashes on my tie. Its acrid smell curls in my nostrils. I put on as much of a Belgrade accent as I can and say, no thank you. I even try to smile. You shouldn't travel alone, you know, he says, looking honestly concerned. The country's a mess. There are dangerous men around. But don't worry. You have the Chetniks to protect you. He sways down the aisle back to his seat, and I hear them talking about how easy it will be to drive the Croats from their homes. Where there is one Serb, there it is, Serbia, they shout. Serbia do Tokyo, Serbia to Tokyo. That phrase had innocent origins when the Serbs won a big soccer match in Tokyo. But they've come to use it as a nationalist slogan, proclaiming their desire to dominate the world. They're traveling my route. They will pass through my hometown, but they will not stop there. My home is near the Bosnian-Croatian border. If the stories I've heard are true, these soldiers, or others like them, will travel on just across the border. My city has been safe, so far. If I can just get to Bihać station, I will be fine. My city is cosmopolitan, peaceful. Muslims, Croats, and Serbs have lived in harmony there for generations. Home is safe. That's what every child knows in their bones, right? Even a 16-year-old child like me. Just get home, I chant to myself. Just get out at your stop and this will all be over. If I miss my stop, the next one is in Croatia. If I miss my stop, I'm in a war.